Matt. I'm Elmari Steyn. I created this beloved work, and first thing I want to say is I feel extremely honored and very grateful that the city of Busselton decided to keep this one.
Well, it's well preserved.
It is still just a very, very happy happening. So, thank you, City of Busselton. So then you asked a bit about the work. Now, first of all, it's a print. I would say a composite print with multiple plates. The plates are often the copper plates. So I sometimes find plates in scrappy places or salvage yards. I sometimes get gifted pieces of copper plate, and then I also sometimes cut them with a jewellery saw to specific shapes. Or sometimes I use them square if I feel like it. I use the plates like symbols or words. There are, and I have favourite ones and not so favourite ones, and I have plates that to me mean something, like not just a word or a symbol, but it has a specific meaning or happening, or the symbol for me for a journey or love or remembering a childhood specific memory. So they all have different meanings. They often are etched on both sides of the copper because I like the shape, and if I look at the shape on this side, I would feel like I see a tree standing up. If I turn the plate over towards the back and lie it horizontally, I would see multiple trees. So I often take the plates and decide what is it telling me, because it has a voice. It has a meaning, and then I would ground it up, and now the ground is the black yucky toxic bitumen stuff that everybody hates, and don't breathe it, keep the window open if you ground up. So ground it up and then let it dry, then scratch into it, and I do it in a very slow process. It takes me days, sometimes months to do it, and I etch it in stages. Then I aquatint it in stages, which call stage bite aquatint. I sometimes change my mind halfway through and I sand it off and start again. But when you work with the plate and in the ground, it becomes a bit of a meditative process, and it gives me time. And in this time, it's a connection, and then the story starts happening of this individual plate. I mean, sometimes they're just this big, or sometimes they could be 40 by 50 centimeters. It just depends what I have at that stage. Some of the plates, this is my secret home, my room. It's in a tree. I always believe that you need to have a space physically as well as mentally where you can physically put your body where it's safe and your surroundings are beautiful and calm, because the body needs to be somewhere beautiful and calm, because the body houses the soul, so the soul will automatically also be beautiful and calm. And that's my golden room. I would often use some gold foil on it, but not in this case. The boat, I love my boat plates, especially the little boat plate.
That's very nice. Yeah.
That's because we all need to go from one place to another. We all need to bridge something. And for me, a boat is such a safe passage. So I love the idea of this sturdy wooden boat. It has no oars. If you get inside, you will go where you need to go. So the boat plates, they have this sort of very proud, majestic bow. You say bow, and I like to put the gold on the bow, because the bow often, to me, faces in the direction that we go in life. That is just by mathematics of chance, that is how life works. So the gold represents time, and the majestic bow is the direction where we go. So the boats are my safe journeys, and they often talk about the journey. If I use a boat, it's about a journey. Like with Driftwood's, this work, it was about the journey when my people decided that the land they lived in had no more meaning. There was just nothing left for them, so they literally packed up their entire lives and they moved to Angola. So most of them went by ox wagon, some went by ship up the west coast, but still the boat is the medium of the journey that takes you from one place to the next. That's your safe vehicle. So that's one of my favorite places. The lookout, this is something of, to have a chair in a tree, could there be a better spot in this universe, where you can see the future, where you can contemplate the future, where you can see where your hopes are going to go, you can see where your dreams are going to end up. So a chair up in the tree, to me, is like the ultimate spot to sit and contemplate either your history, either your past or your future. That's your thinking spot, that's your planning spot. So I really love my chair up in the tree. So some of my other favorites is my nighttime house. It often, when nighttime comes, it's the time when all the hustle and bustle of the day sort of settles down, and you start to think and worry or think back, and just the things that have concerned you, the things that gave you sadness, the difficult things in life that you need to deal with and work through. So the nighttime house is always, there's some light from somewhere, but otherwise it remains the nighttime. This is the time to contemplate your sorrows and deal with your sadness. This, I think, I would say, is by far my favorite tree. He sort of manifested as a mixture from the trees that grow in Namibia in the sort of semi-desert area. The Kalahari is sort of not quite a desert. The camel thorn, it's quite an amazing tree. All the antelope loves it. It's got huge seeds. It's quite almost a sacred tree. It's also a hardwood tree. And then coming to Australia, getting to understand eucalypt, and that it's like no other tree on earth. Probably the most scruffy tree that I've ever seen, but has such an incredible character and endurance, and can survive just about anything. I find it so profoundly impressive that there's this thing growing, and it's just there, and it's incredibly beautiful while it's absolutely scruffy, and almost a lot of them have no have no rhyme or reason. They just grow the way they like, and I just love that. It's like they abide to no rules. So this tree developed in the idea, this a little bit of Namibia and a little bit of Australia sort of overlapped into that tree. And every time I print it, I'm in both countries at the same time. And I just find it, I can print him in any color, and I can wipe it off either very gently and leave it moody, or I can give it a really profound hard wipe and have it pristinely crisp. It always tells a different story. It's the tree, even if I have two prints next to each other of the same plate, it does not speak with the same voice. It's just of two worlds. So he is by far my favorite tree. So, and that's why, I mean, he's there and he's there as well. And then I love the flags. There's, you know, the flags, they tell us, they demonstrate our joy. Whenever there's a flag in the wind and it's just so free, and it's just so, without saying a word, its presence just demonstrates happiness and joy. So the flags have got to be there. What else, Matt?
Yeah. No, I mean, you were here last year, you had a little exhibition, and
Yes.
certainly I know a lot of people made some wonderful comments, and I'm so glad to see that, you know, you're most successful this year, and that is a stunning piece.
Thank you. It's a very selfish work, simply because I do it for myself. The aim is never to impress anybody but myself. If it's not an honest work, it will never leave my studio. It has to speak the truth the way I feel it and experience it. Then when good things happen to your work, you're almost blown away, you know, because it's not the aim. The aim is that I speak the truth to myself.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is, I cannot say things like, oh, I was hoping that you would feel this or that. I just have none of that ever enters my head. It is totally selfish.
Everybody who's voted for this one, they've obviously got their own stories that they can relate to.
But that's us as humans, you know.
Right.
Yeah, all our forebearers packed up their lives in the last 300-400 years because of either religion, politics, a better life. I mean, to this day, people are still packing up their lives and changing countries. And it's, even though this is totally mine and I'm feeling selfish and possessive about it, it's universal. It could be anybody's story who's had grandparents and parents who'd lived through hardship, changed countries. I mean, half of Australia comes from somewhere else. And it's never an easy journey. I'm actually deeply sad to let go of my etching. It's actually many etchings, because I don't even count the plates, but it's probably like 30 different copper plates that's been etched to put this work together. And I am sad to let it go, but c'est la vie. Well, Matt, thank you, and we'll put our disguises on, because in WA we stay safe. It was lovely talking to you, and we'll see you later tonight with a big smile. Ciao, Matt.
Thank you very much.